why have you been absent from North America for so long?
Well, the good old-fashioned rock and roll label not supporting the record, and playing North America, it's such a huge undertaking, but they weren't prepared to put the record out properly, so it seemed crazy to just go and play to people that had not heard it. So we concentrated on the rest of the world who were, buzzing off the record, and we just got sort of big everywhere else. But this is the last place.
It's so confusing because if you're a fan, you're plugged into what's happening online. So this record came out in September.
Yes.
So we're all really completely, totally familiar with the record already. So you're going to have people coming into the venue tonight. They'll be singing along and they'll know everything. Yet for all intents and purposes in the traditional sense, it's a brand new record in North America.
Yeah, it's great. It's refreshing. And there's part of you that was going, God, we've not been for so long. This could be is anyone going to want to come and see it? But already it seems to have worked, because there's something nice about disappearing for a bit and then sort of coming back and being so much better as a band and having a catalogue of 4 albums. It's refreshing. I know playing these smaller venues has been amazing.
I've had a conversation with Matt Bellamy, much like this, because Muse came to North America, or North America came to Muse, much later than the rest of the world. And for him, it was a little bit confusing, because they would go and they play the festivals, and there'd be tens of thousands of people at the gigs, and then they come here and they play in front of 800,000. And he wasn't sure whether that was a good idea, because it seemed like such a step down. But at the same time, it was like, okay, we're back the way it used to be when we were young and hungry.
I really, for me, I just feel refreshed. I feel I've missed just hanging around with the crew and being with everyone all day and having to fight again. I mean, you can get it's incredible. I mean, when you play the huge shows, we play the rest of the world. We are the show. When you play these shows, you're actually at the gig. You're in the show, and it's amazing. And you reconnect with that kid that just did it because he wanted to play the guitar, not because of the machine. That play these big venues, and the light, the mentally of putting it out there and wanting to do something futuristic takes a lot out of you. Whereas this, you turn up and you play, and you try and convince people you're worth.
But you can see them; they're right there. Exactly. They're right in front of you.
Exactly, and you've got to. You can see people turn halfway through the gig. You see it. I've not got them yet. And then we've got you now. It's great.
So we got. I guess North America has, again, in the traditional sense, a bit of catching up to do, because West Rider was such a big record for you guys. And then, what was that, 3 years ago?
Yes.
3. Okay. So we've got North America on a whole has this catching up to do. So it's interesting, because it's not that a lot of this music is brand new to you guys. I mean, you've been playing it, you've been performing it, so it's honed and ready. You're not practicing anymore.
Definitely.
So we get, in a sense, the full package.
Exactly, and I think that's been great, and we've taken people's heads off, which is amazing, because we're not, like you said, we're not feeling our way through these things, and everyone's just like, where have you been? What? Wow! It's like we've gone to Kill Bill, We've gone, we've disappeared. Been training hard, and now we're here.
South by Southwest must have been something of an experience, because 2,000 bands. I mean, you're in that soup of everything.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was soup is a good word. It was like soup. But I miss the chaos, because we play a festival. Get there and everything's on time. Got your own porta cabin. No one goes in anyone else's porta cabin. You're not allowed, Everyone stays clear, very wary, you know. Whereas there, you're thrown in. Doesn't matter who you are, what band you're in. You've not got a changing room where you share one. You get a slot. You might be on time, you might not. Kind of, I imagine what it was like in the 70s. You know, when people just turn up and play it. And it's. I mean, maybe if we did that all the time, it wouldn't be as I suppose novel. You know, we'd be probably pissed off with it, but because we get.
I want my own bathroom. I'm sorry.
No, but the thing is, I'm so used to that. It's nice just to not have that for a minute.
for a minute.
For a minute.
Just for a minute.
You know what I mean? Slumming it.
I do approve highly of your choice of models for videos for this record. Did somebody watch Eyes Wide Shut for the model casting here?
Yes, that was where that came from. Yes.
Good. I think more bands should actually follow along in that particular line of thinking. Excellent job. I am a rather enthusiastic consumer of absinthe. And you've got a song on the album called The Green Fairy.
Yeah.
And I do understand the dangers of absinthe. Is there a particular story that goes along with this song?
Well, the song is about pure escape, and dealing with reality, I suppose. And that's the perfect. For me, that's if I want to check out for a few days. You know, that's where I'll go. You know, and I think there's something. I wouldn't drink like, you know, it's not like a tequila or some, you know, you have a little shot. You know, you're on a night out. That's a, you know, you're checking out. So I think it's something quite powerful about it, and obviously the history surrounding it. So a lot of artists, you know, used it to write or paint on. So I just thought it was a nice thing to dedicate the song to.
I brought some absinthe to a party once, and I did the whole thing. They had never had absinthe before, a bunch of rookies.
It's great, isn't it?
So I did the sugar and the spoon and everything. We lit it on fire, and I was fine, but one of the guys at the end of the table, Phil, disappeared. And nobody found him until the next morning when he was face down in vomit in his wife's closet, having thrown up over all her shoes.
Oh, mate, that's incredible. It's not for the faint-hearted, but it is well worth it, you know.
I think so. You just got to. I think what you need is somebody to take you by the hand for the first couple of times.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise you're lost, and,
Yes.
and you could die.
Yes.
You could. If I could ask just a couple of questions about some of the songs on the record. I think my favorite song is Rewired.
Yeah, nice.
And I heard someplace that you were listening to some Daft Punk records.
Yeah, Homework. The groove on that record, because it's sort of disco, but it's kind of hip hop.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the tempo's interesting because it's just underneath rock, so you get that really nice push. So I was experimenting with that rhythm, and then just played along to it, and then sort of rewired it. It just kind of wrote itself. But there's just that. There's something really incredible about the speed of that record.
I like the keyboard sounds on this record. I mean, you guys have always done really good jobs with keyboards, and whether it's they sound modern yet they're not. Do you collect vintage gear?
Everything's old. Everything's old. Maybe there's a couple of sounds that maybe are from new things, but yeah, everything in the studio. Live is different, but in the studio, everything's got wood on it.
What do you have? Just give me some idea.
Oh God, everything. And
like old ARPs?
ARP 2600, Odyssey, Mini Moog, Memory Moog, sequential circuits, Pro 1.
So they don't make those? None of those anymore. They sell for huge amounts of money.
They do. There was a period when they weren't in fashion, and you could get them, and we got a lot of them then. But now everyone's cottoned on, so you have to be careful you don't have your pants pulled down.
Robert Smith told me he's got a garage, a warehouse, full of this stuff that The Cure has been collecting since 1979 or 1980.
We're playing Reading and Leeds, and they're playing as well, so maybe I should tap him up.
Can you imagine what he's got?
Oh.
That would be just absolutely amazing. And Beck is another guy. You know,
Yeah.
he spends an awful lot of money.
Totally. You can hear that as well. I mean, I think he's got a real knack as well of the same thing. It's sounding modern, but you can tell there's no digital. You know, it's got 60s dust on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
70s dust on it.
Yeah, and you know, if you look online, there's a lot of people for whatever reason that are reimagining albums in 8-bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but
That's crazy.
they're big fans of,
Yeah.
of that whole thing. So, Goodbye Kiss, another favorite song of mine from the album.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, if there's I was going to say standard Kasabian pop song. That's the wrong way to describe it, but that is a signature type of Kasabian song.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Just felt like, I don't know, it just kind of wanted to do it, you know. It was an itch that was wanting to scratch. I was like, almost kind of like a Lennon song or a Roy Orbison kind of vibe. And Tom's just got his beautiful voice. Like, he's a great crooner, really. As well as power, he can really, really sing, you know, and he's just got a real, I don't know, it's just got a beautiful voice, and I think it was about time we did a tune like that.
Well, I appreciate the time. Good luck with the gig tonight.